What's up, guys? It's your boy Barca Boy 103. Today we're gonna be doing the match analysis from the match yesterday between Barcelona and Borussia Dortmund in the first leg of the quarterfinals of the Champions League. We're going to be discussing the team's performance and lesser players' individual performances as well, discuss the momentum, the confidence, some of the stats around the game as well, and also all revolving around 5 key things that we did learn from this game. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below and let's try and get to 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. And also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, the first thing that we learned from this match, that in the big moments this season, the team plays with absolute sheer and pure confidence on the pitch, and that is one of the main deciding factors in them getting big results in the big games this season. You can see here the silver score ratings for the starting 11 from this match. Lua, the front three of YLR should I say, just getting absolutely bombarded with those big ratings from Lopez, Frenkie, and Pedri in the midfield, all having a solid. Only Balde with low rating, which, to be honest, I would say that Balde was the least performing player of the 11, even though he wasn't, terrible. So these, ratings are quite, perpendicular and quite accurate to what I said in my match review yesterday. And if you take a look at the average positioning of the players, on the left hand side is the starting 11, right hand side with the substitutions being incorporated. Firstly, we're going to mainly, of course, analyze the left hand side one. No real surprise in their shape. You can see how deep Kounde was in this game, and that's why I think he played well, because he mainly focused on his defensive side of the game more so than his offensive side. Of course, Balde, average positioning, of course, further up in the halfway line. The diamond in midfield, again, as we did expect, you can see how tucked in Raphinha is and how deep Lewandowski was. Lamine Yamal's positioning, not too surprising. Right hand side with the subs coming in, poor Ansu, barely touched the ball. You can see there how he's, a bit grayed out. Gavi, of course, coming into that midfield as expected. And look how deep Fermin and Araujo were. That shows, how much defensive work we had to do in that final 15 to 10 minutes of the game. If you take a look at some of the stats from this match, firstly, in regards to possession, Barcelona did complete the match with 60% of the possession, with 40%, of course, in favor of Borussia Dortmund. 3.17 on the XG for Barcelona, as opposed to the XG of Dortmund of 1.29, which shows that they probably deserve the goal of the night. And to be fair to them, with the chance they did create, wouldn't be too surprising. We created 5 big chances in this game. They created 2. We had 18 shots on target, 3 goalkeeper saves, 4 corner kicks, 5 fouls, 545 passes attempted, 19 tackles, 12 free kicks, 0 yellow cards. You can see, of course, the shot map there in the middle with 18 shots in total, 10 on target, 1 hitting the woodwork, 6 off target, 2 blocks, 14 inside the box, and 4 outside the box. Of the big chances we, of course, had, we had 5 big chances. We scored 4 of them, missed 1. I still think we created more big chances than just 5 in this game, but of course it depends on what is registered by the XG. And of course they had 2 big ones missed, probably the 2 for Cubarsi there for sure. We had 34 touches in the penalty area, 1 foul in the final third, and also only had 1 offside in this game. So again, clinical, and we talked about a lot in the big games, big moments, with that confidence on your side. Barcelona do tend to be more clinical, very, very evident in these stats here. 5 big chances created, 4 scored, although I do think we created maybe another big chance or 2 apart from those that are registered. Right hand side here, you can see the possession of where the ball was spent during the match. 45% of the possession was spent in the middle of the park, 31% in the defensive third of Dortmund, and 24% in the defensive third of Barcelona. We attempted, of course, 545 passes, completed 480, 22 throw-ins, 57 final third entries, 78% success rate in the phases in the final third, 57% success rate in the long balls, only 10% on the crosses, 1 successful cross and 10, which is low, but that's kind of the average for Barcelona this season, to be honest. We won 52% of our duels. We only dispossessed 9 times, 57% we won on the ground, 38% we won in the air, 44% rate in terms of completion in dribbles, which I think is very good, 7 out of 16, and 74 tackles won in total as well. Now, the main talking point here, of course, what the stats don't show, is how the team played based on the eye test, and they played, of course, with pure confidence. Now, I want to discuss this and what Flick said post-match. I'm not going to cover his whole thing, because all he did was really just gas up the team, which we already know. The team are, doing absolutely sensational job here. But he came out saying after the game that our loss to Atletico in December, of course, on my birthday, the final match of the year, despite the good performance, was our turning point. We then, of course, won the Super Cup, and that had a big impact on restoring the team's confidence. Basically saying that at that time, after we lost Atletico, heads were completely down. We battered them for 90 minutes. We played so well. We created so many chances, but we were wasteful, and they had 2 chances, and they scored both. Of course, the 9th-minute winner being kind of the dagger in the heart. And he's saying that the comeback of how we've done so far in 2025, we've had I think 3 or 4 draws this whole year. That mainly came, of course, with that Super Cup win, and everyone and their mothers knew that going into January. Of course, had Barcelona in the cup. That was, of course, imperative. And then, of course, Athletic Club semi-final, Real Madrid in the final. We all knew this is why the quadruple has more meaning to it, because that's how impactful winning a trophy is mid-season. That's how Liverpool feel winning the Carabao Cup in England, or maybe other winners in the past. Maybe not Liverpool this season per se, since they lost. Sorry, they didn't win it this season. Liverpool, Newcastle won it. My point being that this I like the move of having the Super Cup back in January, because it gives it more meaning and also gives the team more morale, more confidence as well. That was the big turning point for Barcelona. Has now worked out heavily in our favor. Now, some of the stats from this match. Firstly, in terms of the goals being scored, Hansi Flick's Barcelona has the best scoring average in the Champions League history with 36 goals in 11 games, which is an average of 3.27 per game. The second best is, of course, another Hansi Flick team, which was the Bayern Munich sextuple team in 2020 COVID, where they had 3.17 per game. Of course, they finished their campaign with 3.17. We haven't finished our campaign quite yet, but again, we are scoring an average of the most goals in the Champions League thus far in 11 games. Of course, the goal scorers are going to come from that front three. 82 goals now across YLR so far this season, which is absolutely astounding. Lua on 40, Rafa almost pushing 30 on 28, and Lamine on 14. If Lamine can get to 20, Rafa can just get to mid 30s, Lua can get to like 45. You're looking at deadly numbers. And please mind the gap as well. Almost a 20 goal difference between the second best front three, or it's not even a front three. It's a midfielder, a wing, and an attacker in Kane, Musiala, and Elise. Then of course the Galacticos way behind, 64. And again, that's a 2 forwards and the midfield as well. Not really a tried and true front three like YLR are. Now, in that sense as well, Lewandowski came out speaking after the game about that front three, saying that today we played as a team. It doesn't matter who scores, me, Rafa, Lamine, we all score for Barcelona, and that's what matters the most. And that for me is the mentality to have. Speaking with Lewandowski's brace in this game, Lewandowski is the first player in Champions League history to score 10 plus goals in a single season for 3 different clubs. Of course, Dortmund, Bayern Munich, and Barcelona. Barcelona as well, 145 goals this season. I think the record is 180. I don't know if that's in a year or if that's in a season, but quite ways off that. But again, still astounding numbers. I remember, seeing, prime Barcelona 120 would kind of be like the good benchmark. I think Man City's Centurions, their treble teams will get like 100, 120, or 145 with, again, almost 2 months left of the season. And also Lewandowski, 99 goals for Barcelona. People have to deep this that the 100 goal club at Barcelona is very exclusive. I can only name maybe 6 or 7 players on that list. The fact that Lewandowski is going to break that list for me is absolutely astonishing. And with the Champions League trophy, there might be a conversation of his legacy at Barcelona being equal, if not greater, than that of the great Samuel Eto'o. I mean, he is that on par. Yes, some of his performances have been, dire to watch over the past few years, but the numbers, the stats don't lie. Just now has to really match it with the achievement. People are already calling him, I'm seeing it on Twitter, people are already calling him a Barca legend. He's not quite there for me yet. Definitely a Barca icon with these kind of numbers, kind of like, in the Rakitic mold, the Sergio Roberto mold, the Neymar kind of, class, not, touching legends, like Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, Messi, Suarez, Dani Alves, Piqué, Puyol. It's not quite there, but it's kind of like, the Mascherano, Rakitic kind of group. That's where Lewandowski is for me now. But again, treble this season, Champions League win, then we can push to a legendary status, especially with the situation that he was put in the 3 seasons that he was at in Barcelona. Next numbers that are crazy are, of course, Raphinha. Raphinha now has the most goals and assists in the Champions League this season, following his 1 goal and 2 assists last night. And also the most goal involvements in a single campaign for Barcelona in the Champions League is Messi with 19 GA, and Rafa's on 19 GA. Rafa needs 1 more goal or assist for the rest of the Champions League campaign to be the most impactful and the most goals and assists in a single campaign for Football Club Barcelona. I think Messi got 15 goals in a single season for Barca, like his most. I remember he got 12 quite a few times. He got 12 in the treble season. I think he got 12 in the Wembley in 2011 as well season. So I think he got 15 maybe when we got knocked out by Chelsea. But yeah, Rafa, he's crushing numbers in terms of Barcelona UCL numbers, and again, he's overshadowing Messi's best season in the Champions League for Barcelona right now. Of course, hopefully the heir to Leo Messi in terms of the regime and what he brings to the team. Lamine Yamal, the first player under 18 to make 20 UCL appearances, which again is an astounding number. His numbers this season are absolutely sublime as well. And of course, there was a bit of a worry about him. This is again shows people talk about, there's people out there, oh, Lamine is arrogant, oh, he has his bad attitude, blah blah blah, right? This is what they don't see. This is the real true Lamine Yamal. So of course, went off in the game, we thought supposedly injured. He's going like this to the bench for like 4 minutes. He's walking, going like this, walking this. We had a corner. He's there like pointing, like he's like this, he's like this. You're thinking the worst. Oh, he's injured. Oh no, what's happening? But he's walking, he's moving around fine, right? It was then confirmed after the game that Lamine is not injured. He is not injured. He wanted to get subbed off to give Ansu Fati minutes. This is a carbon copy of what Gavi did to Pablo Torre. What was it, in the 7-1 game in the Copa del Rey against Valencia? I am astounded. Tony Juan Martin came out after the game saying that Lamine asked to be subbed off to help Ansu Fati, who he knows is having a hard time due to minutes. Lamine, of course, also rejected the number 10 last summer, which of course we already knew that, and I think that's a correct move by Lamine Yamal for sure. Hansi Flick came out saying after the game that Ansu Fati has been training very well recently and deserved to play in this match. This is team chemistry at an all-time high. I've never seen a team this united before at Barcelona. They may go on and win absolutely nothing. They may bottle everything, League, Copa, and Champions League. That will not change my opinion that I believe this is the most united Barcelona team I've seen. One of, if not the most united Barca team. Again, it's pretty much been the same team now for the past 2 or 3 seasons, so you can expect them to kind of build that bond, that chemistry together. You got like star players like Gavi and Lamine giving, they want to give their minutes to, Ansu and Pablo Torre. This is just pure love, man. I absolutely love to see it. And thank God, by the way, Lamine Yamal is not injured. Now, we do have some video clips coming out from this game. One of the video clips I do want to show you is in the celebration of the 4th goal when Lamine Yamal scored. You can see Raphinha there in the middle saying mas. So saying more. He wants us to go and get more goals. He said it's not over yet. Mas. He said, I think afterwards, mes que cuatro. He wants to go for more. I think this is when we scored the 3rd goal, and he said, let's go for 4. And of course, we got the 4. So that's, again, captain mentality and an absolute elite, bring the team up and give the teams, confidence and, morale so high. You can see, of course, Eric Garcia, Araujo, and Ferran Torres still haven't come off the bench yet. So this is definitely, I think, when Lewandowski scored for his brace. So again, going for 4, and that's the mentality to have. You can see here as well where he was apologizing to Cubarsi for stealing his goal. Cubarsi like, did you take it? He's like, yeah, I think I took it, and he started laughing like it's okay. I feel he said after the game that he thought he might have been offside, but thankfully he wasn't. So again, if he was offside, that would have been quite the doozy. And he's there apologizing to Cubarsi. Of course, Cubarsi does not care as a defender. As long as the goal, as long as the ball goes in the back of the net, I'm sure Cubarsi could not care less. You see a video here as well of Szczesny and Ter Stegen sharing some love, which again is very important to see, especially after the quotes that have come out from Ter Stegen. Oh, I'm coming back soon. The team leaks now are coming back with Ter Stegen back on the team. That's really, unfortunately, no coincidence. So again, seeing them here sharing it and having a smile, I think is very important as well, which again goes back to how strong the team chemistry, camaraderie, and unity is in the team. And finally, my favorite video from last night was when Joan Laporta was leaving Barcelona, the city, not Barcelona, the city, but the stadium per se. He was, of course, in the back seat. He told the driver to make a couple laps and start honking his horn. Of course, I had the audio muted, but he's driving around here in the roundabout in a circle, honking his horn, of course, celebrating the big win. You love to see this from a president because, shows emotion, shows his connectivity with the club as well, how much he cares about the team, how much he loves the club as well. And again, it's very, good to see that. Of course, we've seen this from Joan Laporta since he's come in as a new president. We never saw this from Sandro Rosé, never saw this from, Bartomeu, whoever, but seeing this from the president shows that he is one of us as well. Now, the second thing that we learned from this match is how much ice in the veins Pau Cubarsi at 18 years old has, starting as the center back for Football Club Barcelona. Got 7.8 so score rating. Even heat map, of course, playing on the right hand side of center back partnership. In the match, played 90 minutes, had 1 assist, 1 clearance, 1 block shot, 2 tackles, was dribble pass once in this game. Attempted 4 ground duels and won 3 of them. Attempted 6 aerial duels and won 3 of them. Lost him 5 times, did not commit a single foul, was fouled himself once. 66 touches, 93% pass accuracy, only misplacing 4 passes. He also had 1 key pass and he attempted 8 long balls, completed 5 of them, and created 1 big chance as well. It is time now to start putting Pau Cubarsi in the conversation as the best center back in the world. I think he's definitely top 5 throughout the season. Van Dijk has really gone off a cliff in the past 2 months, making defensive mistakes, and of course Liverpool not being successful. Cubarsi is performing. His performances have been on par with, best center back in the world type of level. Whether you think he is or not is up for debate. Of course, I'm going to say that he is, but he's playing on that level. He's playing with the fact that he's in that conversation. At 18, being so imperative to Barcelona's system, style of play, it's just remarkable to see that this guy has only been in the first team for about a year and a few months. He only came in the first team last January. Maybe you could say really part of the first team, I would say maybe end of February, when he had those, injuries to Christensen, to Araujo, and Inigo did his second hamstring as well. That's when he started to come into this team, and he's never left it. He has never, ever left it. And remember, last summer we were going to that summer thinking, oh, we needed to sign a center back. But then he resolved our issue. Imperative to this team, to the style of play. So crucial. The fact that, we had different managers coming in as well, and they all had Cubarsi as their starting center back, shows his quality and his level as well. The third thing that we learned from this match is not only Cubarsi, but also how important now Frenkie de Jong has become in this team, in this system, and during the Hansi Flick style as well. Got 7.5 so his score rating. Heat map, of course, playing all over that midfield. A lot of times, in those offensive areas, but you can see that heat map there on the right hand side, of course, in the pivot. Played 90 minutes, 80 touches, 97% pass accuracy, only misplacing 2 passes. He attempted 2 long balls, completed both of them. He attempted 6 ground duels and won 5, 1 aerial duel and 1 is. So of the 7 duels he attempted in this game, he won 6. He only lost possession of the ball 3 times, committed 1 foul and was fouled himself once as well. Completed 2 interceptions and 4 tackles. When I was the one preaching back in October, November, December that I think Frenkie de Jong will become a starter by the end of the season, I think Frenkie de Jong will be a starter alongside Pedri, everyone called me crazy. Now they're all silent and all hyping up Frenkie de Jong. Now I'm seeing people on Twitter, oh, Frenkie de Jong, 98% pass accuracy, elite performance. Where were you back in October? Oh yeah, trolling me, saying that, oh, he's an imposter, he's gonna leave in January, we're gonna sell him in the summer for 20 million so we don't lose him for free. Frenkie de Jong is an elite ball controller, an elite ball carrier. There is little to nobody in the world of football that has the ability that he has. Yes, defensively, there are question marks, but you can see him improving. Remember when he came back in the team around November, December, he's getting a lot of criticism because he's losing a lot of possession, which again was completely valid, and I was there doing it as well. We all knew that Flick had a meeting with him after that, and since then he's never looked back. He's come back into the team following Casado's injury as well, them kind of competing for that spot. And everyone saw that when you start Frenkie, the team not only looks better, the team controls the tempo better, carries the ball forward better. Yes, maybe have more counterattacks that we have to deal with, since he's not the most elite ball winner like Casado is. But the overall game helped us more with Frenkie than Casado. There's a reason for that, and that is due to quality of player. Again, he's the only one you could say of that Ajax class of the 1920 season that has made a move and has stayed at that club and has been performing at a high level. He's a captain for a reason. We paid the money for him. He's worth it. Wages as well, whatever it may be. He is performing now at a level which I believe is at his best. I think his best was in the Copa in the first season. Of course, where we only won the Copa del Rey. I thought Frenkie de Jong was masterfulness in that season. I think he's always been solid, always been consistent since then. But that season, I think we saw his peak. I think now we're seeing a better version of him, which shows the level and also shows the massive improvement that he made, silencing the critics. Now, the fourth thing that we learned from this game was the main talking point about the starting 11 and why Fermin Lopez should and deserve to start this game due to his thriving attacking output. Got a 7.6 SofaScore rating in this game. I see him his heat map, of course, playing as that 10 and again hugging that right hand side quite a bit. Like I mentioned in my match review, Kounde wasn't really making too many overlaps for Lamine Yamal. It was more so Fermin Lopez helping him there with the double team and the overlaps. So I think that was a very strong tactical adjustment by Hansi Flick. Played 74 minutes, had 1 assist, 60 touches, 87% pass accuracy, only misplacing 5 passes, and despite him being a risk taker, that's not too bad. 2 key passes, had 1 long ball, completed 1 of them, created 1 big chance, 1 shot on target, 2 shots off target, 1 shot blocked, and then 4 dribbles and only completed 1. Bit poor that from him. Hit the woodwork once, hit the 14 ground duels, won 5 of them, lost possession 15 times, but again, you do expect from a creative player. Completed a total of 3 tackles and got dribble past 3 times. So take away, the 3 unsuccessful dribbles and the 3 times he got dribble past, which of course he's still young. Hopefully he can improve from that. I think Fermin Lopez had an absolutely fantastic performance. The reason why he started this game for everyone was of his attacking output. He's the next best thing that we have in this team after Dani Olmo in the 10. I think Gavi is more important for stability, for someone to control tempo. You want to go nick a game 1-0 against a tough team, where you want to have some dogs in the midfield, win the ball back, but you want to have chance creation. You want to go out and face a team that's going to be better than you on the night. Fermin is the one. I also saw that Fermin Lopez has the most through balls in the Champions League completed as well. He has, I think, 6 starts this season, 6 GA in those starts as well. A very, very tidy and a very, very good midfielder who's, I think, perfect and defies the logic of what important squad depth is. He might sit on the bench a couple of games, he might come in a couple of games and have impact. And I'll tell you what, Champions League for Fermin Lopez is on a different level. 10 goals, of course, last season. I think a lot of them, I think 4 or 5 of those came in the Champions League. Got that big goal against Napoli. Almost got that big goal today in this game as well. Should have probably scored. Had 2 big chances that he should have, scored. But in the end, produce an assist, and that's all you can really ask for him. To be productive, to get stuck in, to find those, pickpocketed areas, which he did find. Of course, if he scored a goal, it would have been much more of, I think, praise performance. But his attacking mindset is so important. It's the best thing that we have after Dani Olmo. Since the poor guy's made out of broken glass for now. Hopefully we can improve that. But Fermin Lopez, another stellar performance from him, specifically in the Champions League. And the 5th and final thing that we learned from this match is why Lamine Yamal is top 2, top 3, in my opinion. Number 1, best player in the world right now. 8.4 Silver score ratings, even team, of course, playing as a right winger. Played 86 minutes. Had 1 goal, 0.61 XG, 0.46 XA, 56 touches, 81% pass accuracy, 3 key passes, had 1 cross, completed 1 of them, had 4 long balls, completed 1 of them, created 1 big chance, 2 shots on target, 2 shots off target, had 2 dribbles, completed 1 of them, lost possession 11 times, did not commit a single foul in this game, but was fouled himself once. I've been saying this since November, and I'm going to still keep saying it because I love being right, and I know I'm right. Lamine Yamal is the most important player for Barcelona. I had there's a caption, "Que jugador," which means what a player in Spanish. I get goosebumps just thinking about how impactful and how good he is on the pitch. I was watch his goal in slow motion. The way he controls the ball and then toe pokes it on the one time is absolutely disgusting. Like, I don't want to make comparisons and stuff, but I haven't seen a player this good in a long time. The talent of his is an absolute ceiling. The world is at his fingertips on how good he is. The guy is fucking 17 years old, the most important player for the best team in the world, for the biggest team in the world as well. He is performing with his age and take away his age as well. Let's say, for example, he's 30. What he is doing on the pitch for Barcelona is astonishing. Yes, he has low goals for an attacker that's, plays week in, week out, 14. You look at Rafa, 28, Lua, 40. I think Ferran has 16, 17. He has more goals than Lamine. But look at what Lamine does in every other aspect. By the way, of his 14 goals, half of them are pure bangers as well. Shots from distance, the one against Athletic Club in the second game of the season, the one against Benfica, the one tonight, just scores bangers. But look at the chance creation. Look at the movement. Look at the transition. Everything goes through Lamine. Even if you watch the game back, I said that Bolde had a quiet game. You can see from the surface score rating as well, he had a quiet game. That's because everything went down the right hand side. Why I think Fermin Lopez had a high rating as well. The ball really went that left hand side. Everyone and their mothers know that Lamine is the output. He is the chance creator in the team. I think he's one of the best creators in the world as well. He's performing at if Prime Ozil and Prime De Bruyne were playing at this stage, I'd put him in that conversation. He is that creative. All 3 of the 4 goals came from him. whether it be a good pass in behind, a transition play that no one saw, a beautiful cross, a lay off for the assist. He is just absolutely astonishing. If the Ballon d'Or is given to the best player in the world, it would be Lamine. I think Raphinha will get it. I think Raphinha deserves it for his, consistency, for his output as well, because the numbers for his are absolutely outrageous. And also, he's playing very, very high level. But for Lamine, for me, is the most imperative player in this system because mainly this, the eye test. So that was a match analysis from the match yesterday between Barcelona and Borussia Dortmund in the first leg of the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss, of course, mainly revolving around the 5 key things that I did mention in this match. You agree, disagree, maybe want to bring up a point that I forgot to mention, leave me all your thoughts in the comments below, and of course make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.